What's up guys? Welcome back to Dive In Garage. Today, I'm going to show you how to change brakes on a GM 10-bolt front axle. Let's dive in. All right, now if you remember from the last episode, after I took Hank out for a test drive, it was crazy. It was bucking up and down and it was just very resistant. So I thought something was up with the engine. Wasn't too sure, but I got back and took a look at the front right tire and it was smoking. So lifted the truck up, tried to rotate it, totally locked up. So what we got is a stuck caliper. No big deal. Let's get in there and take care of it. All right, so first thing I'm gonna do is get the wheel peeled off, and then I'm gonna get the spacer off, which that is a 1.5 inch spacer, using the same 7/16 by 20 hardware. All right, then the hardware here is a bit different than your modern vehicle. If you look down here, you'll see you've got an Allen key. Got two, one down below, one up top. We'll get those out, and then we'll just hang the caliper off to the side for now. And this is a 3/8 Allen key, and it shouldn't be too hard to come off. Might be some resistance, but shouldn't be too bad. Okay, spoke too soon. Get your pipe out, give it another yank. No, not like that. There we go. All right, there's that one. One down here and see if this one comes out. Save these. Never know when you might need them. Whoa, jumped right out of there. All right, then for now, we're just gonna get this out of the way. Perfect. And these pads don't look awful, but rotor is not in great shape, so I'm just gonna go ahead and replace all of it. There we go. Don't lose this. All right, so it did things a bit out of order there. I got the caliper, then the dust cover. But here we go, let me get you in here so you can see what we're looking at. All right, so this is what we're after. Get you focused here. So we got a snap ring right here, and then this gear set will come out. There's a spring behind there, and then we got to get the two special nuts off. And then this whole hub and rotor assembly will come off. There you go. I always cover these with my hand just in case they go flying, just like this one tried to do. All right, and then this should slide right out. Should. That's what it's supposed to do anyway. I'll give it a little help here. There we go. Yep, just a little bit of help. There we go. There's your gear set. There's your spring. Just wiggle that out of there. Oh yeah, look at that stuff. That looks great, doesn't it? Perfect condition. Okay, so next up you are going to need one special tool for this job. That's going to be one of these. So you see the socket here? There's some teeth in there that line up to the nut inside the hub here. So you see those teeth on there? Yep, that's what we're going for. So there's one nut, and then there's a washer, and then there's another nut. Let's get those out of there. Now these shouldn't be impossible to get out. The spec is 115 foot-pounds, but even still, getting them out shouldn't be too bad. There we go. Just find it there, wait till the teeth bite, and kind of keep it aligned. Give it a turn. There you go. And what I like to do is grab the socket, back out off the rest of the way. There it is. Nice and easy. So what I'm going to do is just set these out on some cardboard, and so we can keep these in the same orientation that they came out. And now there's a little washer in there. I'm going to get two picks and just fish it out, and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, got it out. It's a little special washer there. And what I ended up doing was I got this 90-degree pick, fished it out of there. So you can get behind the washer and then just get it off of the surface. And then there is one more locking nut holding this on. Just find it, get that thing out of there. Man, these things were barely tight. Kind of wonder if these were put on maybe by someone who didn't know or didn't torque it to spec or what, but I don't know. Things were barely on there. All right, so as you pull this off, the whole assembly might start to come loose. It might not. You might need to bang on it a little bit. There we go. Then this whole thing, there we go. Okay, so before you go yanking this off and dropping stuff, there are two bearings in here. There's an outer and an inner. So when you pull this off, the inner is gonna be loose, but the outer, or sorry, backwards. When you pull this off, the outer is gonna be loose and it might fall out. The inner is held on by a seal. So just be wary of that. So I put my hand right here and pull it off. A little heavy, be prepared for that. All right, here it is. Here's the inner one I was telling you about, or outer, again, sorry, backwards. Then the inner. All right, let's go get this thing pulled apart. All right, got a little bit of cleanup done on the dust shield here. Not really super worried about it looking like pristine. It's gonna get covered up and something you're never gonna see. Anyway, so we got the hub off. Let's go take this over to the press and get these studs pressed out. All right, now we're here at the press. Let's get these wheel studs out there. Just need a few simple things. Got some nuts. We need a heavy hammer, and that'll do it for now. Later on, we need some more equipment, but that'll do it for now. So all you gotta do is grab some nuts. Oh, it kind of sucks. Grab some nuts. Ones that go at least the whole way down. Grab your mobile press. Get them out. That easy. So just do that all the way around. All right, so I'm going to put that bearing aside, go get this cleaned up, give it a quick paint job, and then I'm going to clean up these holes and grab some different wheel studs, and we'll get this rotor reassembled. All right, so now we're ready to reinstall and reassemble this hub and rotor assembly. So I got my new studs, mobile press. This is just a 1/2-inch extension and some blue layout fluid. So this process is pretty easy. You get your new stud, line it up, and you just bang them in. It's that easy. I will tell you up front though, this would be probably a little easier if you actually had a press, but as you can see here, it's totally doable. The only other thing I got is just some cardboard to protect the hub from the pavement here. Alrighty, got that together. Now installation is the reverse of disassembly. Let's do it. All right, so this is the fun part. Now you gotta torque down that nut to 115 foot-pounds. And then you need to get that shim to line up with one of the pins on that nut. So first up, let's get it torqued to 115, and my wrench only goes to 100. So we're gonna go 100 plus 1 ugga-dugga. There's 100, 115, there we go, perfect. If you can see on here, this is the washer that goes right after the first axle hub nut. So there's this little tab which fits onto the axle, and little holes which line up to a little prong on that nut, and these have to mesh. And you'll know when it meshes and when it doesn't, but you can't skip this. Don't delete this part, you need both. I can't quite show you this, it's a little hard, but if you just imagine, it's just like this nut, but it has a little prong sticking out, and it catches just like that. Give me a minute while I get this situated here. No way. Oh man, I thought that just went right on. It kind of seems like it did. Like, you're watching this in real time, folks. This doesn't happen. Let me make sure. No, okay. It didn't. It didn't say. It seemed like it did. And don't let it trick you like this. All right, so and then go ahead and fish it off, and then see where it is lined up, and you just got to mess with it. Unfortunately, it's one of those things that you can't cheat it. You just got to take the time and get it in there. All right, so I'll bring it back once I got it on. All I'm going to do is see where the stud is, and then I'm going to rotate the nut a little more, try it, probably won't fit. Rotate the nut a little more, try it again, probably won't fit. And keep doing that just little by little until it lines up. No, it did. It did go on there. Oh, look at that. I can't believe that. That's crazy. It went right on there. Well, sweet. Look, folks, it's never that easy, I promise. I didn't stage this. I don't know. There's no way I could. All I did was torque it down. You saw me. And to my benefit, that little washer just went right on. When you do this, don't expect that. I'll tell you right now, don't expect that. I just got extremely lucky, I guess. All right, well, moving on. So now I'm gonna get the other washer, or the other nut, excuse me, and I'm gonna get that on there, and I'm gonna torque that also down to 100. All right, that's that. By the way, let's see if I can see it on here. Part number for this special socket this is a Performance Tool branded one. Just one I picked up on the Amazon. Performance Tool W1269. I'll put it in the description as well. So moving on with the process here. And you get that perfect condition spring. Throw that guy back in there. There you go. Then you grab your gear. Make sure you get your snap ring ready. So I'll go ahead and put my snap ring. And, oh, well, hopefully my tool wasn't coming apart. Make sure you guys buy quality snap rings. This one sucks. I don't even know where I got this. Probably the Hobo Freight. You know, only the best around here. You know what I mean? All right, so grab this, get this prepped. And that spring is not gonna like shoot out at you or anything, just have it ready nearby. All right, and then the little nose faces out. And what you might have to do is you might have to rotate the hub as well. So once you find the teeth on the axle, you're gonna need to find the teeth on the hub. So there you go, see how it's not lining up? So just grab something, turn the hub a bit. There you go, it catches there. That's all you gotta do. So now you get your snap rings that you prepared. Don't shoot them in your eyeball. Whoa, get on there, get on there. Oh man. There you go. Snap ring. There's a little groove in the axle. Make sure you catch it. There we go. Perfect. And then if you can see the little snap ring, the two little arms, they're right next to each other. And then I don't really like how that's binding. There we go. That gear set should be outward. And you should be able to push it. There we go. You want that travel. Perfect. All right, cool. So now we're gonna get the dust cover. And then if you don't have the gasket, I'll show you what I do because I lose those gaskets all the time for whatever reason. And I'll show you how I do it. All right, so you lost your dust cover, you can't find it, you threw it away on accident, whatever. Get it out, some of this. Just go around the perimeter here. You really don't need a ton. What you're gonna do is just throw a thin bead and then you're going to just smear it around because the void really is filling isn't that big. Like that. Squeeze a little bit out so you don't waste it. And then just smooth it out. You do want to leave, of course, like a good bit on that lip there. You're not going for flat, you're going for more of a cone shape. And then right there, boom. So let this set up for like, I don't know, 15 minutes or so. And then come back and throw it on there. What you can do also, if you want, is you could just sort of set it on there like this. Just maybe get it just barely catching. There you go. Just before it really seals. And then once it hardens up a bit, then smush it on there and then grab a rag and wipe off any excess. And then you're done. All right, so now that's gonna dry. Let's go tackle this caliper. And no, we're not just replacing the caliper, we're gonna rebuild it. Let's do it. Alrighty, got our caliper all rebuilt. Went ahead and painted it. It was just looking rough. So put a little bit of a coating on it, give it a better life. I'm gonna reuse the bleeder. I do have a new banjo bolt for it I'm gonna put in. And the only thing we need to do left is load it up with brakes and then throw it on. So these are the brakes I'm gonna use. Some Bosch. I really grown to like the Bosch stuff. And I'll show you kind of why here. So if you see, not many parts manufacturers package their things, and you can tell they care about them. And also, they give you the grease too, so in case you need it. And it also came with the springs. So, I mean, to me, it just seems like a little bit higher quality. That's what I'm kind of seeming to use more recently. So let's get these things loaded up. The first thing you need to do is get your inner brake pad, one with a little wear tab on it. Flip it over, and then this curved side is going to get this little spring. So you're going to go up here like this, grab yourself some pliers, and then just bend these little tabs over the bottom. Just kind of stretch them on there. Just like that. Make sure it's on there all the way. And this is going to go inside of your caliper piston. Just like this. So caliper piston is going to sit like this. I'm going to flip it over and then put your curved side here and press that guy right in there, just like that. Then go ahead and grab your other brake pad right here, and then flip it over upside down. And there are these little notches that this tab sits in, just like that. All right, so now when you're putting this on, make sure this is pressed all the way in there. It might try and kind of pop out a little bit. So now all we gotta do is put it on, grease up the pins, load the pins, do the brake line, and then we can start bleeding these things. All right, so once you get that in place, you're gonna get your pins out, and I'm gonna go ahead and replace these pins because the ones that were on there were probably from 1979. And it's about time to get those replaced. So like I said, it comes with some grease, this pad kit. And then just do like you would on any normal brake job. Just make sure you grease the pins up. Oh, it's green. Wow, look at that, this looks cool. So you shoot your alien snot on there. Give it a nice coating. You don't need to soak it. And then throw your pins in. So get that one started, get the other one on. I'm gonna snug up one first, and then I'll get the bottom one on, and then we'll give them a good tighten. About there, about there. All right, cool. Got that done. Just get this banjo bolt from, your local auto parts store, the Dorman. All right, and we're gonna grab one washer, put it straight on there, and then the other washer, we're gonna put this through the brake line, put the other washer on the bottom. And I'll get you in here once this is all hooked up so you can see what's going on. And things are just a little easier to see when you got new parts on there. Not everything's, rust colored. Same there, good and tight. And that is it. Brake line's connected, pads are done. Obviously we need to bleed the brakes still. And it's gonna take quite a lot of fluid. But I will show you that, but also check out another video I did explaining the 2 different ways you can do it. I'm going to kind of speed through it here, but like I said, check out the video in the description. I'll try to put a link above here, and you can see a little bit more in-depth explanation. All right, so here we are. Caliper rebuilt, new pads, rotor, and then the hub. We got some new grease in there. We didn't change any of those wheel bearings or any of the seals. Again, if you need to do that, this is a great time to do it. But for this video, we're focusing on just the brakes. All right, and then this is the bleeder we're gonna reuse. And then there is the banjo bolt, just like that. And I like to put the connector in this orientation here. And then I give it quite a bit of slack. In case you're curious, I do have a 4-inch lift, and these are brake lines from Skyjacker, but I got the 6-inch lift. Sorry man, I can't say that. I got the 6-inch lift brake lines, so I can get a little bit more slack. And they don't interfere with anything, so it's totally fine. Just a little bit of extra insurance. All right, y'all, we're over here on the driver's side. The first thing I did was I got my waste can. You get your 10mm on there. And since this brake system was open, the first thing I did was I opened the bleeder and had my lovely assistant press it 3 or 4 or 5 times. And I cycled back and forth a couple times like that. And just to get a lot of the air out. So now what we're gonna do the normal method. So I'm gonna have her pump 3 times. Go ahead and pump 3 times. And then I'm gonna take the bleeder and loosen it quite a bit. And then make sure you tighten first. All right, let go. All right, go one more time. All right, so I'm gonna loosen it up. There we go, look at that. That's how you know it's coming out. Anyway, that's the process right there. Just keep going back and forth until you're happy. You know, once you get all the air out, I mean, it'll be the same after that. And then check the pedal, and then of course check your master cylinder, make sure it's filled up with brake fluid as you're doing this. And that's pretty much it. Alrighty y'all, that's it. We got a ton done this video. And like I said, keep your eye out for a couple other videos and some of the sub-tasks I had to do. And hey, if you liked the video, I'd appreciate it if you like and subscribe. And don't be afraid to get out there and dive in your next project. Catch you next time.